Hey guys, so I'm here today to talk about Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, and why the fuck Jeffree Star isn't canceled yet. A lot of videos have been going out about the statement Shane Dawson put out about the beauty community. It riled some people up, and to be honest, I think that was the point. Personally, I think that statement was put out to detract from the other drama that's going on surrounding Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. And this was an easy way to make everyone's kind of attention go elsewhere. I think even fans of Jeffree Star will admit that Jeffree Star is calculated. He's manipulative. We all know it. It's not a secret. And I think this is just another aspect of that. I will touch on the letter he wrote, but I kind of want to talk about how we got here first. I've been wanting to make this video, but like I kept being like, oh, maybe I'll wait till this happens, or I'll wait till this happens, or I don't feel like there's enough, but I need to make the video. I've been very clear on my channel from the get-go that I do not support Jeffree Star. I followed him back in the MySpace days. Liked his like vibe, you know, like the alternative pink hair situation. And then I followed him when he forayed into beauty, and I followed him on YouTube for a while, but then I learned about his racism allegations. I personally had not heard about them before, and the more research I did, and his like I'm not racist video he put out, to me all fell flat, and I personally believe he's still racist. I just think that he's good at hiding it. I think a lot of the times we talk about how social media isn't representative of who we are, and that's just not the good. Like, people are always like, oh, people hide, you know, like the hard stuff, but they also hide their true selves sometimes. And I believe that just because Jeffree Star has smartened up and realized that he can't be racist in front of the camera anymore does not mean that he's not like that. There's a difference. Personal opinions, allegedly, whatever. So I'm gonna kind of cover how we got to this point, what the recent drama is with Jeffree Star, and my opinions on it. And then at the end of the video, I will touch on the Shane Dawson letter to the beauty community. Your girl has notes. So I wanted to make sure that this kind of flowed properly and that like I was touching on all the right points. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel every Tuesday and Thursday. I don't normally do just rant videos. Literally my last video was a video ranting about Sephora, but I also do other videos. It's just that I strongly believe that Jeffree Star needs to be gone. And I don't want to hear anyone in the comments being like, oh, cancel culture is so toxic. There is a difference between cancel culture and someone being held accountable for their actions. Just done. That's it. What's the drama? How did we get here? So I think a lot of this happened because the Black Lives Matter protests started in America. People were standing up for George Floyd, and a lot of white people were realizing that we have been complacent in racism and we've put up with racism. You know, even brands like Aunt Jemima are changing their, I think they're discontinuing the brand Aunt Jemima. They'll probably just reformulate or like re-release the syrup or whatever. But all over the world, people are starting to look at racism and be like, this is a fucking problem, we need to fix it. And when you think about racism in the beauty community, your mind automatically goes to Jeffree Star, just straight up. So things have started coming out about him. The first thing that happened was an Instagrammer by the name of Cam Lester posted a Instagram video. Now, a lot of the reaction to the Instagram video was that like, it was a lot of nothing. Like they were like, nothing really happened. But I think part of the problem is that white people don't understand microaggressions. And I think what Cam was trying to explain was stuff like that it's hard to comprehend when you're a white person, that Jeffree was making him feel like a token black boy. And he also had said that Jeffree was manipulating him, and that he was like, James Charles had helped Cam Lester kind of get the platform he has. Like he had given him a shout out, I believe. So he was like, why do you like James Charles? And basically saying like, you shouldn't be friends with James Charles if you're also friends with me. And keep in mind, this was in March. This was pre-Bi Sister drama. But what the takeaway everyone's taking from the video is that Cam Lester said he overheard a FaceTime call of Shane and Jeffree in March. Bi Sister came out early May, I believe. And they were shit-talking James Charles, talking about how it was trash, and Cam Lester said it sounded very out of character for Shane Dawson. And I've heard some I guess I heard Here for the Tea basically has said like Shane Dawson is more manipulative than he comes across as, and I kind of believe that, but that's for you to decide, I guess. So Cam was like, it was very out of character for Shane to like be shit talking James Charles like that. Like, it was weird. And so everyone started putting together whether or not Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson had planned Dramageddon 2. And let me just say, from the beginning, I have always said that I think that Jeffree Star pushed Toddy to make that video. That video by Sister was very out of character for Toddy. She has always been so good at staying out of drama. Even when she was friends with Jeffree and she posted videos with Jeffree, once her fans gave her blowback, she stopped posting with him. Like, she understood their perspective and stepped back. So that video was very uncharacteristic of her. And the fact that Jeffree was jumping in like immediately on Twitter being like, Toddy said everything is 100% accurate, I totally support her, blah, blah, blah. James is a sexual predator is what he said on Twitter, etc., etc. He's like a danger to the society. First of all, how would Jeffree know all this if he hadn't talked to Toddy about it before? And I think what happened was Toddy was hurt about the vitamin thing. Because really when it comes down to it, what James Charles did that was wrong in this situation was he was a bad friend to Toddy. He supported another vitamin company and it hurt her feelings. And I think he probably didn't apologize the way he should have, is what I really think happened. Like, literally, he is getting canceled for being a bad friend. Because the other stuff that he did has kind of been debunked, or is also shit that Jeffree Star does, like the liking straight boys thing, which is a whole other situation. But really, Toddy was upset that James was a bad friend. And I think Jeffree wound her up and started being like, yeah, he did this and he's done this. And remember when he did this when we were at dinner, wherever, and blah, blah, blah. And I think he wound her up and told her she should make a video and started kind of pushing her to make the video. Yes, Tati is a grown-ass woman and it was her decision, but I 100% think that Jeffree was in the background poking and prodding her and coaxing her to do it. He is manipulative. He's good at being manipulative. So she probably thought he was her friend and she went with it. And also keep in mind that at this time, Jeffree and Shane were already recording the Shane Dawson Jeffree docuseries about the conspiracy palette, because these clips of when it came out are in the trailer, which means that Shane was filming then. So did Shane and Jeffree think this is gonna be good tea for our docuseries exposing the beauty community? Yes, they probably did. And then the only reason it wasn't included wasn't because Shane got morals, it was because Jeffree came out of it looking like trash, because Jeffree didn't get to dethrone James Charles. James Charles came back with his video and was like, everything you said is a lie. Jeffree has sent me threatening messages telling me I'm disgusting. And Jeffree's the one that came out looking like shit, so then they just cut it from the series. I'm just saying, allegedly, these are my thoughts and opinions. And to me, like, it's way too coincidental that they weren't involved. And keep in mind, okay, no, wait, let me just, one person at a time. So Kate Lester puts out that video. So this was in March, and then Tab, I think his name was Tab David, put out a video, and he's like not really an influencer. He doesn't, like, I don't even know what his social channels are, but he put out a video. He's been friends with Jeffree Star for 13 years. They met on MySpace. He's been in Jeffree Star's campaign videos, and he was like, you know, we're just friends. And he put out a video saying that Jeffree was, I think, body shaming Trisha Paytas. Well, he said another person there, but you kind of learned after the fact that it was Trisha Paytas. He was shit talking Rich Lux and kind of being like, how do I say that, like, he thinks he's better than you because he has money? Like, he's one of those, he was like wealth shaming Rich Lux, I guess, behind his back. And he also said that Jeffree Star said a racial slur for a Jewish person starts with a K. If you don't know what it is, Google it. It's gross. And he uploaded that video basically saying, like, Jeffree's a shitty person and, like, I've put up with her for so long and I've been complacent and I need to fucking stop. And he posted the video, and I think he got a lot of hate, so he took the video down because he didn't want it to seem like he was clout chasing. And I think this is the problem, is people are like, oh, well, you're just clout chasing. But it's like, how do I tell my story? How do I tell my story and my perspective if I'm not clout chasing? Like, what else do I do? So he actually gave the video to Sanders Kennedy and let Sanders Kennedy re-upload the video. And Sanders Kennedy reached out to him and got confirmation from Tab that Jeffree Star says the N-word all the time and that he uses racial slurs all the time. Who's surprised? Not this girl. I have always said that I think that Jeffree Star is still racist. I think that he just hides it well. If you didn't see Here for the Tea did a video with David Scissorhands, who used to be Jeffree's hairstylist, and in the video she FaceTimes with David's sister Hannah, and he scrolls through an old cell phone text messages with Jeffree Star, and Jeffree Star calls Jackie Aina a gorilla. This was in 2017. 2017. And like, let's not even like that's not even touching on the fact that Jeffree Star is also misogynistic. He literally only picks fights with women. That he is, like I said, he like wealth shames people. He always says shit like, oh, come to me when our bank accounts match. Like, you're not better than somebody else because you're rich. You used to be poor, so the fact that you hate poor people is fucking ridiculous to me. And also, it's just fucking pathetic. And also, he's just mean to anybody who has any criticism towards him. He has cut down so many of his subscribers on Twitter for literally the most mundane of responses. He literally cut down Ashley Kyle, who is a drama channel I'll touch on later, because of the title and screen and like thumbnail of her video before even watching her video. Because her video wasn't even negative about him, but the thumbnail like implied it might be, so then he cut her up. I will put there's a Reddit thread that I'll put down below that lists all of Jeffree Star's controversial shit he's done. And a lot of it is recent. I know that there are, if you don't know, there is a video of him where he tells a black girl to bleach her, pour acid on her skin so it's lighter, or pour bleach on her skin so it's lighter. There's also a video of him calling two girls the N-word with a hard R. Either way, bad, but the hard R is worse. And that video is from probably 10 or 12 years ago now, and so he likes to use the excuse that he was young, and in his Shane Dawson series, the original one, he talks about how he wanted to hurt them because they called him the F word, the derogatory term for a gay person. And I just want you to think about the fact that when Jeffree Star wanted to hurt somebody, two girls who weren't black, they were white girls, when he wanted to hurt somebody really bad, you know what he called them? He called them black. The worst thing he could think of? Just saying. Coincidence? I don't think so. So I'll put a thread down below of all the shit he's done because I can't go through it. This video is already gonna be so long. So Tab came out and said that Sanders Kennedy put up his video. Also, Ashley Kyle put out her video where she said she was on Jeffree Star's payroll, which a lot of people, it's very clear which drama channels are on Jeffree Star's payroll because they don't talk about Jeffree Star drama. There was hairs in a Jeffree Star palette. In the conspiracy palette, a bunch of them had hairs in them. And he put out a shitty apology and nobody talked about it. And I just want to say, the way Jaclyn Hill handled her scandal was trash, but Jeffree didn't handle it any better and he got away with it. And I hate to break it to you, but that's called sexism. We let men get away with more than we let women get away with. And that's one of my issues with Shane's statement, is that he's painting the beauty community as dramatic and catty because they're a bunch of women, when realistically the ones that are dramatic and catty are the men at the top. But we'll get there. So Ashley Kyle put out a video saying she was on his payroll. She basically showed that Jeffree Star was pushing information at her about the James Charles stuff. Like, she told him it was, he told her that James Charles was a predator beforehand. He told her that James was awful and that he was gonna, that me and Shane think he's gonna get his and something's gonna go down next week. And it's funny to me that in Shane's statement, he said, like, people keep wrapping me up in this for some reason, but it's because Jeffree keeps including you. It's not just I think, it's me and Shane think. Another reason why people think that Jeffree Star was kind of orchestrated it was because he was behind the scenes pushing information to drama channels, and this is just one that came out. There are many other ones, Dustin Daly, Nick Snyder, there are so many other ones that clearly are biased towards Jeffree and ride hard for him, Rich Lux obviously, and they're never gonna come out because they like the money he makes them. Ashley Kyle said in that video that during Dramageddon 2, she made $40,000 in that 1 month. So while Jeffree's not paying her, he's giving her information and providing her with a heads up so that she can make videos, so that she can be the first one to make videos, and then she can reap the rewards. And if you think he's not doing that with every drama channel, you're dumb. Sorry. I get a little intense about Jeffree Star. So basically that's the drama that happened, and also videos have surfaced of Jeffree Star posing next to a Confederate flag, and Jeffree Star had a company called Lipstick Nazi. People thought it was a lipstick brand. Jeffree has claimed it's a live journal. It literally doesn't matter either way. Like, Now we're just fucking separating hairs. Like, it doesn't matter if it was a live journal or if it was a fucking lipstick company. You still thought it was okay to call something lipstick Nazi. But everyone is happy to cancel Kat Von D for being a Nazi with less proof, but okay. And something I want to talk about is that a lot of people kind of glossed over the Dawgie Vanity situation. So if you don't know, Dawgie Vanity has been like kind of outed as a predator lately. And Jeffree Star had tweeted about it years ago when they were touring together that Dawgie Vanity was a disgusting predator. Are we sensing a theme? The Dawgie Vanity was a disgusting predator. And then a year later, he toured with Dawgie Vanity again. So your question is this: did he lie about Dawgie Vanity being a predator just because he was mad and wanted to throw mud at somebody and call them awful names because he's just an awful person? Or does he know that Dawgie Vanity is a predator and then still toured with him anyways to make money off of it? And it doesn't matter what Jeffree says. Jeffree says that that his like first tweet calling Dawgie Vanity a predator was him lying, but I truly don't believe that. All the proof, like the girls that have come forward that have said that Dawgie Vanity preyed on them have said that Jeffree Star was there and saw it. And I mean, there's videos of girls coming up on stage and Dawgie Vanity touching them and Jeffree Star's right fucking there. So yes, I will agree that the times were different than then, but you literally tweeted out that you knew he was a predator and then you toured with him a year later. And I feel like not a lot of people touched on that because again, the drama channels are in Jeffree Star's pocket. So there was that, and that's what led to him being on the Mom's Basement podcast. The Mom's Basement podcast is a podcast with Keemstar, and I think FaZe Banks was also on it. I don't know anybody else on it. I didn't listen to the whole episode. I've just heard bits and pieces. I try not to listen to Jeffree Star because like I really can't. So the issue here is that the timeline is so weird for the James Charles and Jeffree Star drama. So Sebastian Williams is a great YouTube channel. He is not on Jeffree Star's payroll and he puts out great videos and he has a timeline in his video that is very intriguing. So he says after the Bi Sisters video, he says that in February, Nathan banned James Charles from the house for being a predator. But in April, he tweeted, "I miss you" at James. So if James had already been banned from your house, why are you tweeting that you miss him? And then on April 29th, he tells Ashley Kyle that James is evil, mentions Shane and I, and then says he has receipts that James is a predator, and then never shows them. And then in March of this year, he says that James is amazing as always when she did that collab video with Charli D'Amelio. He retweeted it and was like, "Wow, James, you're doing great as always." But then just like a month later, he went on the Mom's Basement podcast and he doubled down on James being a sexual predator. So like, once again, it just, to me, whatever is happening, one way or another, Jeffree Star is a fucking liar. He's either calling this child a sexual predator with no proof, or he knows that James is a sexual predator, doesn't want to out the victim, which was what his story was, but is still celebrating him on his platform and giving him praise. So like, which one is it? And also in the Mom's Basement podcast, he kind of threw Tati under the bus and was like, "I didn't ruin James Charles' career, it was Tati." But Tati's video was dramatic, but her statements were a lot more subdued than "you're a sexual predator and a danger to society." That was Jeffree Star that said that, not Tati. And now he's saying that Tati lied and like he had the wrong information, but at the time he was saying Tati was 100% right. So which one is it? Do you think James is a sexual predator or not? Fucking pick one. But that's the thing, is Jeffree doesn't remember what his lies are. He just has this weird cult following where people will believe him because he's so good at being convincing that people follow the story and say, "Okay, yeah, sounds good, I guess." So Sanders Kennedy also put out some voice notes that just kind of shows that Jeffree Star talks shit about everybody, which like doesn't surprise me. And Ashley Kyle's video shows that he knew about the video before it went up. Shane knew about the video before it went up. So did they orchestrate it? I strongly believe they did. That's just my personal opinion. Sue me, whatever. But I personally believe that it is. So now we're on to the Shane Dawson A little note. I'm not gonna read the whole thing because I've already been recording for 20 minutes. But I want to kind of hit on some key points. I'll link the screenshots of it down below. If you want to read the whole thing, I would say watch Samantha Ravndal just posted a video a day or so ago, and I thought it was perfection. She went through the whole thing and kind of talked it through. So he said he didn't do this palette just for money, and like, listen, sir. I would respect people more if they were just honest. Like, in the first docuseries, Jeffree tells Shane how much money he can make off of a palette, and that's the only time Shane becomes interested in makeup. And then Jeffree says, we should do a palette together. And Shane's like, really, you think? And if you think he didn't do it for the money, you're fucking ridiculous. And the fact that he's now shitting on the beauty community that he just profited off of is a little bit ridiculous as well. You can't leave the beauty community because you were never a part of it. Just because you associated with one fucking person in the beauty community, you weren't part of the beauty community. You didn't post a single video on your Shane Dawson channel that was actually a YouTube tutorial. How can the beauty community be toxic when you're not even posting? Like, if you were posting videos on your Shane Dawson channel that were makeup videos, your subscribers would eat that shit up and it would be totally fine. But you're not, because makeup isn't your passion. And you know what? That's fine. I'm all about getting the bag. Get your bag. I don't fucking care. You wanted to make a makeup palette. Your fans loved it. Cool, done, awesome, whatever. But to say that you didn't do it for the money is ridiculous. To say you love makeup is ridiculous, because you didn't start buying makeup until you learned that you could make millions of dollars off an eyeshadow palette. And even during your series, which I watched, your 6-part docu-series commercial Morphe fucking propaganda video, you said that there were parts of it, like near the end, you were like, wow, I wish I would have started playing with makeup more. I wish I knew more about makeup when I was making this, because then I would have changed this, this, and this. So like, if you had actually wanted to do it properly, you would have, like, most people don't just fall in love with makeup and then just like know everything about makeup in like a couple months. Like, it takes time. We all know when we kind of bought our first eyeshadow palette and took time to learn and stuff, and he did it for the money. And like, again, I don't care, but like, stop fucking lying. You can't say the beauty community is toxic when you literally chose to, you didn't do an expose on, he said I did an expose on the beauty community and then all of a sudden I was wrapped up in all this drama. But you didn't do an expose on the beauty community. You talked to one fucking person in the community. You just talked to Jeffree Star, who is the most toxic, controversial person in the beauty community. Samantha Ravndal put it best when she said he is the most toxic, racist, misogynistic, threatening person in the beauty community. And that's who you chose to do your docuseries about. And like, that's fine, but don't act like that represents the entire community. I had this conversation with my friend the other day because she was like, well, the beauty community is toxic. And it's like, just because 10 people at the top are toxic and all the drama channels make videos about them, it doesn't mean the community is toxic. I don't follow any drama channels except for Here for the Tea, and she hasn't uploaded it in 100 years because she's trying to kill me. And I don't follow any of the toxic influencers. I think I might follow Shane and James, but like, I don't watch any of their videos, so it doesn't really affect me. It's just like I subscribed and haven't unsubscribed yet. But I don't follow really any of like the top beauty gurus, so I don't get drama in my feed. Like, my favorite beauty gurus are like Samantha Ravndal, Raw Beauty Christie, that Taylor, I guess she's Taylor Wynn now, Atlee. Like, they're gurus that just make videos about makeup. They're not dramatic. Just because you surround yourself with the dramatic people doesn't mean that represents the whole community. And let's be real, influencer community as a whole is dramatic. Like Shane Dawson said, I've never had drama with any YouTubers before. No, not with other YouTubers, but you've had plenty of drama. You've had your blackface drama and your jizzing on your cat drama and calling a child sexy drama. And your N-word drama, and I don't know, there's probably 100 other ones because I don't follow Shane Dawson, but I know of those dramas. So you have had drama, you've been problematic your whole fucking career, so don't act like the beauty community suddenly made things dramatic. You literally did videos about TanaCon, about Jake Paul, and about Jeffree Star. 3 of the most controversial people alive, so don't fucking act like drama found you. You found drama because you love drama, because let's not pretend like your palette wasn't just fucking banking off of drama. Conspiracy palette, controversy palette, you had, let me tell you what the shades in the controversy palette were. You've got TanaCon, What's the Tea, Exposed, Canceled. You're right, you didn't just make fucking money off of cancel culture only to come out and say you hate cancel culture and how fucking toxic it is. Get over yourself. You love the drama. You just don't love being involved in the drama, but you chose that when you decided to do your series on Jeffree Star, when you decided to collab with Jeffree Star. You made these decisions. Nobody else made them for you. And if you can't handle it, that's fine, but don't fucking paint that shit on the beauty community, because social media and influencer community in general is toxic. Like, that's just how it is. Like, fucking Keemstar's toxic. Trisha Paytas is toxic. Fucking all the top YouTubers, there's tons of them. The Ace family's toxic. Every community has toxic people, and the top influencers are always toxic. But that's not just the beauty community. That's every community. You're just pissed because you got dragged into the drama this time because you decided to hook up with Jeffree Star. Okay, sorry, I got a little heated there, but I can't help myself. Then we have to talk about the fact that he said that James Charles deserved a slice of humble pie the size of the fucking Empire State Building. And I just want to say, who the fuck do you think you are? Listen, James Charles is problematic. He has done problematic shit, and he was probably getting a little egotistical when this whole thing happened, and it knocked him down a couple pegs. But that doesn't make it okay what you guys did. That doesn't make it okay. You don't get to decide who deserves a slice of humble pie. And if you were actually friends with James, you guys would have had a conversation with him behind closed doors, or cut off your friendships with him to show him that he needed to change, instead of humiliating him in front of the entire world. I just want to be clear that James Charles was 19 years old at the time of this. He was basically a fucking child. Yes, he's technically an adult, but Jeffree Star is 34 years old. Shane Dawson is probably the same age. I'm 32, and let me tell you, to me, a 19-year-old is a literal infant baby. To a 32-year-old, a 19-year-old is a child. And when Jeffree Star was 19, he was calling girls the N-word. He was telling black people to bleach their face. He was posing with a Confederate flag and thinking lipstick Nazi was a cool name. When Shane Dawson was that young, he was doing blackface. He was calling black women monkey. He was using the N-word with a hard R in his videos. He still sells a fucking Shanae shirt on his Amazon store. So for people who were the most problematic, and yes, James has done problematic shit, but I'm just gonna say it hasn't been to that level. Has it? I don't think so. People who have done such problematic shit at the age of 19 to come back and say that you think that James needed a slice of humble pie the size of the Empire State Building is so fucking, like, holier than thou, and you're not. You're not superior to him. You were him, but 1,000 times worse. Yeah, he's a kid who got fame way too young, and he probably let it go to his head, but if you actually cared about him, you would have talked to him. Instead, you cared about the drama. And also, let's not forget that the reason you guys were canceling him was stuff that Jeffree Star literally does, like preying on straight boys. Nathan was a straight boy before he got together with Jeffree. And being an egomaniac? I'm sorry, have you met Jeffree Star, Mr. Look at all my Birkins, Mr. fucking talk to you when our bank accounts match? Like, he's the most egomaniacal person in the world. So the fact that you're trying to cancel this kid for the same shit your family does is bullshit. And he also says, stop expecting influencers to be perfect and then canceling them when they're not, or else you'll never have anyone else to look up to. Like I said in the beginning of this video, there is a difference between cancel culture and holding people accountable for what they have done. You and Jeffree have done heinous, racist shit your whole careers. And if it's coming out now that Jeffree still says the N-word behind closed doors, also, please keep in mind that Peter Mon in his recent video said that Gabby Hanna told him that Shane Dawson told her that Jeffree still uses the N-word all the time and he hasn't changed. So, just saying. That's what Gabby Hanna told Peter Mon, and I don't think that Peter Mon would lie about it. Gabby Hanna might lie about it. I don't know her very much, and she's in her own fucking drama right now that I can't keep up with, but I'm just saying, this is what I hear. So I think there's a big difference between people like to hide behind cancel culture. Cancel culture is what happened to Manny. This man was literally canceled for being a bad friend. Cancel culture is the fact that Laura Lee got canceled over racist tweets, but Jeffree Star literally is out here calling girls the N-word and posing with Confederate flags, and it's like, oh, that's just Jeffree. That's cancel culture. Jeffree will never fucking experience cancel culture. I literally don't think he'll ever get canceled. Literally, in Tab's video, he said, Jeffree told me I can't get canceled. And I believe that Jeffree thinks that. He is behind the scenes pulling everybody's strings like a little puppet master and painting his own narrative. And I do think that Shane Dawson put this statement out, and Jeffree Star was probably pushing him to put the statement out, because guess what? It detracted from all of Jeffree Star's drama and brought us all back to Shane Dawson and defending the beauty community, when we should be kicking Jeffree Star out of the beauty community, because he is the toxic part of this community. He is the one that was involved in Dramageddon 1 and Dramageddon 2 and all the other fucking drama. Like, he is the common denominator. And the other thing he said was that the beauty community is toxic. Like, he said even the girls who say they're not toxic, their top videos are makeup fails and worst products videos. And I hate to break it to you, but if you think that's the same shit as drama, you're an idiot. Like, makeup fails videos are fun to watch because, like, it tells you what products not to watch, not to buy. My camera overheated. I don't know where I was, but my point is, Shane Dawson was never a part of the beauty community. I think it's a little bit ridiculous that two grown-ass men decided to humble a child. Do I think James Charles needs to change? Yeah, probably. Do I think he's changed? I don't fucking know. I don't watch his videos that much. I don't like really extra people. They kind of bug me. So that's why, like, I don't really like Jeffree Star either, you know, other than the fact that he's a racist. But I just think it's a little bit rich that people are being, that like Shane thinks he can fucking leave the beauty community. I really hate people paint the beauty community as a toxic environment when most of us are just sitting around putting on eyeshadow and not being involved in drama. And like, yes, I've talked about drama on my channel before. I've done some rant videos before, but again, there's a difference between, like, I did a video on like Jaclyn Hill's lipsticks and how she was lying. There's a difference between being held accountable and drama. Drama is like when Karina Kaboom makes a fucking video about a tweet. Being held accountable is like, hey, look, Jeffree Star is posing with a Confederate flag. Jeffree Star has this problematic brand. Jeffree Star's calling Jack a gorilla, something that for some reason people love to talk about like it didn't happen. So there is a big difference between one and the other. And I think that Shane and Jeffree are using this as an excuse to hide from the real drama, which is that Jeffree Star is still racist. I personally believe there is no reason for Tab or Ashley Kyle or Cam Lester to lie. Like, they're not getting anything out of this. Jeffree Star runs YouTube because he runs it through fear. People are terrified of him because he has a cult following and he will rip you apart. So the issue is people are afraid to talk against him. And I don't see how talking against him would benefit anybody. Ashley Kyle, it was very clear she did it because it was weighing on her conscience. I think it was the same for Tab and Cam Lester. And I think Black Lives Matter and a lot of people thinking about racism more actively really played a part in that. And I think that people need to understand that the way I look at it is this. I'm not in the beauty community, and so a lot of people, I mean, I'm not really in it. Like, I have 3,000 subscribers, I'm nobody. But my favorite, I look at, you know, people say like, well, you don't know what happens behind the scenes. Like, we're not behind the scenes, we don't know. But this is the way I look at it. I look at all of my unproblematic YouTubers that I follow, and I notice that none of them talk about Jeffree Star products. And I think that's enough for me because they all don't want to talk out against Jeffree Star. I mean, Samantha Ravindal just did in her video. She doesn't support him. It's very clear. And a lot of the other ones that don't support him would maybe like off chance mention that they don't support him, but they won't actually say anything. But all the non-problematic YouTubers don't support Jeffree Star. And I think there's a reason for that. And that's enough for me. And I think that people need to stop letting him off the hook for being trash, for threatening his fans, for being like fucking wealth, what am I trying to say? Like, he's like wealth shaming, I don't fucking know, for thinking he's better than everybody else. And I think Shane Dawson uses his anxiety and his like, oh, poor me attitude to get away with a lot of stuff. I mean, can we stop acting like Shane Dawson isn't fucking rich? Just because he walks around with holes in his t-shirt and wears a robe doesn't mean he's not rich. He's living in a mansion in Calabasas. So his little, oh, I'm so poor, I'm so sad shtick, like, yes, he probably has mental health issues, I get that, but like, sometimes you need to get called out for being a shitty person, and that can affect your mental health, yes, but you guys also had no problems doing it when it was affecting James Charles. And the first time around during Dramageddon 1, Jeffree Star was cackling on his fucking Instagram stories about Laura Lee and Manny MUA getting theirs when Manny didn't even do anything wrong. He just like didn't stick up for Laura. And he got fucking read to filth. Jeffree Star is straight up out here doing racist shit left and right, threatening his fans, threatening subscribers, and it's just like, whatever, it's fine. And can we also just like touch on the fact that they restocked the Shane Dawson palette with Jeffree Star Cosmetics the day before the day before Shane decided to leave the beauty community. And if you don't think they're going to continue making that palette and making tons of money off that palette, you're wrong. So that's my opinion. Fuck Jeffree Star. I'm really over Shane Dawson. I didn't ever watch Shane Dawson like before. I started watching his docuseries and I found them a little bit interesting, but the more I watched them, the more I just realized that he's very biased and he's not a journalist at all. He's just like shows the nice side. Like literally Jake Paul's ex-girlfriend said he assaulted her in the video and he like didn't even really touch on it with Jake Paul, which was weird. And yeah, I just think like he's just doing that to make money, and maybe he thinks he's doing a good job of it, but they seem very biased to me and I'm over it all. And also white people out there who are gonna say stuff like Jeffree Star has apologized, Shane Dawson has apologized, I just want you to understand that it's not up to you to accept an apology that wasn't for you. You can make your own decisions to support him or not, to support them or not, but to say to Black people and people of color that Jeffree Star and Shane have apologized, it's not up to you to make that apology, to accept that apology on behalf of somebody else. That's up to Black people to decide. That's up to each individual person to decide. And if they don't want to accept that apology, that's totally fine, because you have to understand that what they did, the blackface, the N-word, all the racist shit, that hurts them way more than you could ever comprehend. So save those comments. I'd like to know what you guys think down below. Why the fuck is Jeffree Star not canceled? Did you hate Shane Dawson's little rant as much as I did? Please don't read me to death, read me to filth in the comments because you love Jeffree Star. I'm never gonna like him, I'm never gonna support him, so if you expect that from my channel, it's not happening. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, let me know down below what you guys think, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!